Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. You know, I have accomplished amazing things in my life. I've turned things around for myself on multiple occasions, and I've been a really good person. But you know what? I used to feel invisible. You know, it often seemed like people only noticed me when they wanted something from me, and they ignored me or disappeared when I had a need or want of my own. You ever feel that way? You know, it's really painful, lonely, and difficult place to be. I was raised in a loving family, but for some reason, I've always felt my role was to meet the needs of the rest of the group. You know, as a child, I often felt ignored or less than. So the only way to get noticed and receive positive attention was to suppress my needs and focus on those of others. I also had no choice. I grew up in a single-parent family. My mom was taking care of 3 children. I lost my father to a horrible accident at the age of 10. So I had to become the man of the house at a very young age. You know, but once I became an adult, I was still looking for love and approval by giving to and taking care of others, as I had learned to do when I was small. And since I was raised to be a caretaker of others, I wasn't taught to also take care of myself. You know, the unspoken bargain was, what I hoped would happen was that if I were there for other people, they would be there for me. But unfortunately, it seemed like it never really worked out that way. You know, I'd take care of others because it's a good thing. I think that it's wonderful to be giving, supportive, and compassionate to people. And the thing I didn't learn is that I also needed to give these wonderful things to myself. You see, when we're children, our parents are responsible for who we are. But when we're adults, we are responsible for who we are. But you know, the way that I was treating myself in all these circumstances made me feel invisible. And once I realized what was going on as an adult, I looked at why people didn't give me the same consideration and support that I gave them. I was surprised to see that I was unconsciously treating myself disrespectfully, and I modeled this behavior for others. And without realizing it, I was teaching other people how to treat me. And you know, the good news is that now that I'm an adult, I have the power to make things different. And even though I was taught to disregard my wants and needs so I could focus on others, I can now change that early patterning and begin treating myself with the respect that I deserve. You know, I was really excited to think about what it would be like if I stopped ignoring myself and started occasionally putting my needs first. You know, setting boundaries around behaviors I will and will not accept from others. You know, some things I did to turn things around was to look inside myself and begin acknowledging my feelings, my wants, and my needs. You know, I'd tell myself that what I feel is as important as what others feel, and then I would act accordingly. I started speaking up for myself. You know, once I was aware of my feelings, my wants, and my needs, I spoke up and made sure that others were aware of them too. You know, if they continued to ignore me or got angry when I did this, I realized it might be a toxic relationship that I needed to reevaluate. You know, sometimes when we lose people, it's not always a loss. And I started taking care of myself as well as others. And I modeled for other people how to give to me as well as take from me. And I just stopped accepting one-way relationships where the other person talks about him or herself for hours but doesn't listen when you begin to speak. How many times have you been there? It's so frustrating to me, you know, and I give people the opportunity to be there for me now. I take risks, I share my thoughts, and I encourage others to respond in kind. And you know, it's really interesting because once I changed my behavior, most people were happy to see that I was stepping up and being assertive. They were like, finally. However, others were angry and confused, and with these folks, I patiently demonstrated my boundaries, but I held on to my boundaries in a firm way. And I modeled for others how I expect to be treated. Now, eventually, people modified the way they treated me, and their respect for me grew as I demonstrated my own self-respect. Unfortunately, there are some people who just wanted to be in a relationship with me because of the way I took care of them, or what I could provide for them, or what I could do for them. But as I've grown stronger, that's pretty much faded away, which is just perfectly fine for me. What I learned is to always remember that I am lovable, I am valuable, I am capable. I'm a competent person, and it's time I and everyone else began to acknowledge this. I learned that the bottom line is the key to being visible is to respect myself, take control of my life, and make sure others are aware that I'm as important as they are. Step up for yourself. Look inside yourself. There are billions of people on this planet. You have amazing gifts within you. Do you know that there's nobody on this planet that can be you? Therefore, those amazing gifts which reside within you can only be shared by you. And you can do it. I care about you. I believe in you. And if you feel invisible, I want you to know that I know you are there. And I care about you. And I know that you can do it. All right, friends, I hope I got you thinking today. I hope you have a beautiful day. And remember, you're important, okay? Have a great day.